Good morning, good morning. You've been served. Y'all come on in. Donald Trump, you've been served. Department of Justice, you've been served. You've been served. Hey, Janet. Hey, Janet. Good morning, good morning. The Department of Justice, you've been served. Let me get to it. When you gonna get to the good part? Yes, indeed. I got some good sleep. I got some rest last night. Hopefully I can get back on point, on target. I was a little, oh Lord. He got served. The Department of Justice got served. Hold on. Did I just shut it down? Accidentally? Yes, I did. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, indeed. The oversight, Democrats voted. I voted they asses. They got to unleash all the documents. Where is it at? Yeah, that's it. They got to release it. They got to let it go. And so because now they want to open up, waste people's taxpayers' money and time investigating something they can't do nothing about. They can't do nothing. Barack Obama, my God, you are so jealous of that man. It ain't even funny. Hey, Cynthia.
The situation with the 3 broken bones in Jeffrey's neck turns out triple breakage.
Stop. That's where we ended last night on that Epstein stuff. We're going to talk about that too. Well, not right now. We're going to see what them lights look like. Come in, hit the like button. I ain't going to be playing with folk no more. I say that. Where is it at? Oversight. Good morning. Hey, Dante, good morning. We finna listen to them vote at Oversight Committee. Trump. Yeah, well, we know that. Oh, yeah, that's it. You've been served. They need to come on. They sure wasting people's time and money. All they had to do. Oh, and before I get deep off into it, look at here, folks. Do not come in my comment section with a whole song and dance about Trump. How long I been on here? Y'all come in here to the like button. Hey, Brian. I mean, I had a clown. And when I say clown, oh, Lord. Yeah, I got a good one. Y'all can tell I got some sleep, can't you? I don't know why I have been so drained. I haven't been eating right. I haven't been taking my vitamins and stuff right. Look at here. When I say clown, I mean clown. Clowns. Clowns. He is surrounded by a whole bunch of clowns. Now, you know what's funny about this picture is they got, I'm going to say they midgets. I ain't going to say they minors. I'm going to just say they midgets. Let me let y'all get a clear picture. They got the midgets right there by him, looking like minor clowns. Yeah, clowns. Do not. And when I say do not, I mean do not bring your clown ice in my comment section trying to pump up this pedo. Okay? Do not come into my comments trying to say, well, the Democrats, they had it. You sound like a clown. Okay? You sound like what clowns do. Say foolish and do foolish stuff, just like your headmaster, your clown master. Okay? Do not, and I do repeat, do not come into my comment section trying to campaign, trying to create a narrative, trying to deflect the truth, because I'm a clown you. I'm a clown you like the clown you are, like the clown you sit up under. Okay? So let's just be clear. I'm being forthcoming, honest. I'm a clown, yo, monkey, ice. Like the clown you are. I had a cat, Bruce, I think. Hold on. I told you I'm a clown, you didn't. I'm going to tell you exactly what I said and exactly what I did before I get started. I'm going to put you out there, clown. AunTeaFee going to put you out there. Hold on. Hold my mule. Let me get to it. I don't know what he thought. This Bryce. This clown. This clown. Don't he look like a clown? You look like I done had to clown you before with that funny ass mustache looking like a fool. Yeah, Bryce stuff. Bryce's stuff. Yeah, stay out of my comments. Let me, yeah. Hold on. He wrote a whole song and dance in the comments. I'm trying to get to it, y'all. A whole song and dance 2 hours ago. Oh, it's been edited. Did you edit it after I responded? A whole song and dance. Democrats would have pulled it out either when Obama was in office or Biden was in office. They didn't. That means there isn't anything. You clown. The reason for him moving Maxwell is to make sure clown. Well, what did AunTeaFee say? What? Democrats didn't run for office saying they were going to expose it. Your pimp did. You sound like you are a MK Ultra client. Sicko. Go get you some help. He gonna learn today, ain't he? He gonna learn today. Yeah, stay out my comments. Because I'm hurt. And he said, and whatever else, just in case he listening, whatever else he wrote past that is protecting the victim so she can get well, I didn't read past that. Where it said read more, I didn't read more. So I don't even know what else you said. Because you sound sick to me. You're making anybody who make excuses for a pedo pimp. You just not entitled to my attention like that. So I stopped reading. And just assume you were a part of that MK Ultra study. They done brainwashed you. In other words, you're brainwashed. And so that I won't hurt your feelings. Yeah, I need for you to go get some real help and come from up under the cult. Okay? Okay, so let's get to the vote. I needed to get that on out before I forgot. Hi, Beth. Oh, he trying to. He trying to. They're going to, all I'm going to say is he's trying to. He's trying to be the new and improved. Hey, good morning, Max to the boogie. Max to the boogie. Thank you for the paintbrushes, Max. I greatly appreciate the support. I greatly appreciate the support. Look, y'all, down if you're on your phone, when you came in, there was a little purple box that was going round and around. It was saying, send AunTeaFee some jewels. Send AunTeaFee some jewels. What? Grandis. Thank you. Ah, thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. Yeah, support the platform. There you go, Janet. Thank you. Y'all hit that spinning. It may not be spinning now, but it's a little cute box down there. Little gift box. Send some jewels. I like jewels. Help me reach my goals. Support the platform. Support the platform. This baby, because baby, I was doing too much. I guess I was losing it. Time. Them bags was coming. Ooh, Lord. This is always something. Hey, Phyllis. So listen, they went to the oversight committee. They said we ain't falling for none of that bull crap, none of that deflection stuff, none of that. We want the files. 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 They want the files. Let's vote. Let's go.
Now we will be calling up Miss Lee's motion as amended.
Shout out to Miss Lee.
Say aye. All those opposed, no. No. In the opinion of the...
Oh, they get it. They get the unredacted.
In the opinion of the chair, the no has...
Shout out to Miss... Yeah, I remember I showed y'all Miss Lee the other day. She said, I ain't playing with that butts.
Pardon?
Her.
In the opinion of the chair, the no has it.
Recorded vote, sir.
Recorded vote is called for. The clerk will read the...
Everybody say, everybody.
Mr. Go, sir.
Okay, people here in the comment section, if you vote for them to release it, yeah, put aye. Who all? And if you don't want them to release it in the comment section, put no. Aye. I. Let's go. Who wants them to release it? I.
Mr. Biggs. Ms. Mace. Ms. Mace votes aye. Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry votes aye. Ms. Bober. Mr. Jack.
Aye.
Mr. Jack votes aye. Ms. Lee. Ms. Lee votes yes. Mr.
She
Bell.
stood up, baby.
Aye.
Mr. Bell votes aye. Ms. Simon. Ms.
Hey,
Simon
Scott.
votes aye. Ms. Presley.
You
Ms.
want
Presley
them
votes
to
aye. Ms.
release
Presley.
Aye.
the files,
Garcia votes aye.
Scott?
Chairman.
Put I or no in the
Mr.
comment
Chairman votes
section.
no. Mr. Biggs is not recorded.
Why you not
Mr.
recording?
Biggs votes nay.
You don't want Trump to know how you vote? Yay. Let's go.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 8, the nays are 2.
There it is. So the Democrats were able to outmaneuver the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives to get that subpoena issued to the Department of Justice.
Hold on. For the ones that's just coming in, we are voting for the subpoena to move forward. And
No. In the opinion of the, pardon? In the opinion of the chair, the no has it.
Recorded vote, sir.
Recorded vote is called for. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Gosar.
I'm trying.
Mr. Biggs. Ms. Mace. Ms. Mace votes aye. Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry votes aye. Ms. Bober. Ms. Mace. Mr. Jack.
Aye.
Mr. Jack votes aye. Ms. Lee. Ms. Lee votes yes. Mr. Bell.
Aye.
Mr. Bell votes aye. Ms. Simon. Ms. Simon votes aye. Ms. Presley. Ms. Presley votes aye. Mr. Garcia.
Aye.
Mr. Garcia votes aye. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman votes no. Mr. Biggs is not recorded. Mr. Biggs votes nay. Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 8, the nays are 2.
There it is. So the Democrats were able to outmaneuver the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives to get that subpoena issued to the Department of Justice to turn over the Epstein files. Now the Department of Justice just has until August 19th to turn over the Epstein files. Likely the DOJ will try to delay and obstruct. They're already calling in favors from the MAGA Republican Congress members who are the ones who are actually leading the oversight committee. I'll break down what took place. So now you have James Comer sending other subpoenas. Well, if we're going to subpoena the DOJ, then we're going to also have to subpoena Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. And we're also going to subpoena James Comey and Bill Barr and Robert Mueller and have their depositions taken in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. But when I look at the list of who James Comer also wants to get documents, records, and depositions from, notably missing is Alex Acosta,
Yep.
the prosecutor who was from the Southern District of Florida, who cut the sweetheart deal with Epstein. I mean, literally
Well,
the guy. Why didn't you
he cut the deal, and it looked like he cut his hairline back. What in the world? What type of hair? What? What? There go that clown haircut. There go that clown. He's what? What in the world? What in the world? He cut a deal. Yeah, and he cut his hairline. What? Why, baby? Baby, sir, you need to go on and cut that off. And then you had a nerve to have some peach fuzz right up in there. What? Yo, Rogaine for men it ain't working. What in the world? Yeah, cut is the proper word. Prosecutor who negotiated Epstein's sweetheart deal left off the subpoena list while they over there trying to call everybody who didn't have nothing to do with it, but the man who did. But this man right here said he was told that Epstein was a part of the intelligence, that he was a part of the CIA. Yeah. So he was saying he was following orders. Who orders? Whose orders? Trump's? Because this was under his first go round. Yeah, baby. But when he said cut a deal, and I saw that hairline, he need to go on and cut that hair off.
From notably missing is Alex Acosta, the prosecutor who was from the Southern District of Florida, who cut the sweetheart deal with Epstein. I mean, literally the guy. Why didn't you subpoena that guy if you're actually after the truth? Oh, maybe he was Donald Trump's labor secretary during the first administration, and maybe Acosta knows some additional secrets about Donald Trump as well. I think that when the Democrats take power again, or whatever the Democrats do next, get Acosta's deposition, laser focus there. I think Acosta knows a lot more about Donald Trump than even we know at this time. But take a look right here. Here's the subpoena to the Department of Justice. You'll see it right here. It's issued from the House Oversight Committee. It was dated yesterday. And you take a look at the documents that are being sought via this subpoena. All documents and communications relating or referring to Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and further relating or referring to human trafficking, exploitation of minors, abuse or related activity. All documents and communications contained within the case file regarding U.S. versus Epstein, regarding U.S. versus Ghislaine Maxwell. All documents and communications contained within the file pertaining to the investigation of Epstein by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida that resulted in the 2007 non-prosecution agreement between the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida and Mr. Epstein. Okay, well, then why wouldn't you also get the deposition of Alex Acosta, who was the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida? But go on, it goes on to talk about all communications and documents relating to or referring to the U.S. versus Epstein, U.S. versus Ghislaine Maxwell, and the investigation of Epstein that resulted in the 2007 non-pro.
Hold on, let me let y'all see.
Take a look at the documents that are being.
Let me let y'all see the subpoena.
Laser focus there. I think Acosta knows a lot more about Donald Trump than even we know at this time. But take a look right here. Here's the subpoena to the Department of Justice. You'll see it right here. It's issued from the House Oversight Committee. It was dated yesterday. And you take a look at the documents that are being sought via this subpoena. All documents and communications relating or referring to Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and further relating or referring to human trafficking, exploitation of minors, abuse or related activity. All documents and communications contained within the case file regarding U.S. versus Epstein, regarding U.S. versus Ghislaine Maxwell. All documents and communications contained within the file pertaining to the investigation of Epstein by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida that resulted in the 2007 non-prosecution agreement between the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida and Mr. Epstein. Okay, well, then why wouldn't you also get the deposition of Alex Acosta, who was the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida? But go on, it goes on to talk about all communications and documents relating to or referring to the U.S. versus Epstein, U.S. versus Ghislaine Maxwell, and the investigation of Epstein that resulted in the 2007 non-prosecution agreement. All documents and communications between the Executive Office of the President, including the Executive Office of Joe Biden, and the Department of Justice, including or referring to Epstein. Like that. That's what the GOP wanted in there. Let's get the Biden documents. Okay, get the Biden documents. Get the Clinton documents. I don't care.
We don't care.
The freaking files right there.
We don't care.
By the way, Congress is trying to seek these because Donald Trump is deep sixing them, and Donald Trump is trying to cover them up. And finally, 7, it says all documents and communications relating or referring to the death of Epstein. So that's the subpoena right there. So I want to remind you of what went down. How was this subpoena issued? Because the MAGA Republicans were trying to block this from happening before they went on recess. Remember,
Right.
MAGA Mike Johnson calls the recess because he wants to give Donald Trump space to be able to do what Trump's doing. Meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump's former criminal defense attorney turned number 2 at the Department of Justice. Todd Blanche meets with Ghislaine Maxwell. Give her what's called use or proffer immunity during that meeting. Move Ghislaine Maxwell from Tallahassee to a minimum security prison in Southeast Texas as part of Donald Trump seeking the cooperation from Ghislaine Maxwell, ultimately, in my opinion, to cover up what she knows about Donald Trump while she petitions the United States Supreme Court for a new trial or to get the charges against her dismissed. But before MAGA Mike was able to call the recess, Democratic Congresswoman Summer Lee made this brilliant move in another House Oversight subcommittee. She saw that like the Republicans weren't paying attention. They called this hearing. So she was like, okay, I want to add an amendment. Let's vote to release the Epstein files and let's subpoena the Department of Justice. And she knew it was right before the recess that she had the votes in the room, even from the MAGA Republicans there. So she pushed this vote. The MAGA Republican chair of this committee, he tried to pretend that the vote was actually to vote against releasing the files. It was like, we voted against it. She's like, no. We voted to release the files. And then the MAGA Republicans added in there a provision like, well, we want Bill Clinton and we want the files on Hillary Clinton and we want Biden's files. And then the Democrats were like, okay, sure, that's what we're okay with that. Just a reminder, here's what happened at that committee hearing. Play this clip. This was before the recess. Play this clip.
Now we will be calling
Tony, put your comment on the super chat,
amended.
your question on the super chat or
All
super
those
sticker,
in favor,
please,
say
to
aye.
support the platform.
All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the, pardon? In the opinion of the chair, the no has it.
And then I'll break it down for you.
Recorded vote, sir.
Recorded vote is called for. The clerk will read the, call the roll.
Mr. Gosar. Mr. Biggs. Ms. Mace. Ms. Mace votes aye. Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry votes aye. Ms. Bober. Mr. Jack.
Aye.
Mr. Jack votes aye. Ms. Lee. Ms. Lee votes yes. Mr. Bell.
Aye.
Mr. Bell votes aye. Ms. Simon. Ms. Simon votes aye. Ms. Presley. Ms. Presley votes aye. Mr. Garcia.
Aye.
Mr. Garcia votes aye. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman votes no. Mr. Biggs is not recorded. Mr. Biggs votes nay.
You don't know how to do a super chat or a super sticker? You see that box down? Hold on.
Mr. Chairman, on
There's
this
a
vote,
box
the
with a
ayes-
dollar
the ayes
sign
are-
at the bottom. Are you on your phone or are you on your laptop? If you're on your phone, there is a box at the bottom where that is a gift box, and then there is another box right next to it with the dollar sign. Click that, and it'll say super chat, super stickers, and you can put your messages or your questions on the super chat or super sticker, and then it'll pop up, and then I'll answer them. That way we can, I can get support for my research support. You can, but outside of what you got, okay, great. Thank you.
Eight, the nays are 2.
Guys, have you ever worn those swim trunks with the
Oh, not
scratchy
the
mesh
sw-
liners? Well, our next sponsor.
No, we ain't gonna do no swim trunks. I mean, I dig it though, sir. I ain't need to know.
Member of the House Oversight Committee, he writes, the Epstein file subpoena is out. The subpoena that oversight Democrats forced Republicans to vote on has been issued. We have asked for the files by August 19th. We are going to end this White House cover-up. Congresswoman Summer Lee, who was the one who did that brilliant maneuver,
White House cover-up. White House cover-up that we would not have no idea that it was a cover-up that included the clown, the clown pimp. If he had not been trying to go after somebody else and forgot. See, I know he's sick in the head. I know he got some mental issues going on, you know, and I'm hoping he's taking his medicine. But I know you had to have forgot the facts. Since you brought it back alive. So that's why I'm telling people, stay out of my comments, you know, trying to justify or make excuses for the head clown pimp master. No, they ain't gonna be able to blank stuff out. No. Everything that they trying to do, they done had 1,000 and some, you know, people trying to continue the cover up. We would have not known. We went on with whatever else was going on had he not ran for this, brought this up recently. He brought it up. Now you want to say, well, the Democrats didn't bring it up. You brought it up. You reminded us. Well, let me remind y'all about Russia. We don't care nothing about that. But we do care about these thousands and thousands of kids where this elite human child trafficking. You brought it up. Now we know. Now we know. Now we want to know what's going on. Don't be mad at nobody but the head pimp master and his crew. Pam Bondi. Department of Justice. His minions. Yeah. His little minions. Do I need to show y'all the clown again? His little minions. Don't be mad at nobody but himself and his minions. Them. That's surrounding him with this foolishness. Stop blaming other people for what you brought back alive and for the minions, the clowns around you who was putting it out what they was going to do, who they was going to expose. If Clinton, you wanted to expose Clinton, cool. Expose him. We don't give a shit. Everybody involved. We want you to expose them all. But while you was trying to bring up Clinton, I don't know how you forgot about you. And Diddy. Every time you say, I really didn't know them, you know them. You know them well. You know them very well. You wishing Miss Maxwell, GHISLAINE Maxwell, the best, but you ain't said nothing about the victims. Then I think I heard in my sleep that you gave some of the victims the middle finger. Why you not? Now you mad at the victims. You is a big clown. I'm with you, Bailey. They all need to go to jail. They need to have a special little maximum prison for all the elite pedo pimps and pimpettes. Need to be housed in the middle of they own what is that? Alligator Alcatraz with a whole bunch of hardcore non-redemption prisoners. They ass gonna be running scared just like Diddy. Diddy said they don't send a kite. They coming to get me. They saying don't go to sleep. Yeah, you gonna wake up in a dream, all right. Yep. They all need to go. And they need to have a whole bunch of little clowns running around. Yeah, yeah. So that's how I feel about them. They all clowns. That Bondi chick was a clown. Alex Acosta, a clown. Y'all did. I don't know if y'all knew y'all were in a cult, but that's Jim Jones. Yeah, right there. Let's finish listening.
We are going to end this White House cover-up. Congresswoman Summer Lee, who was the one who did that brilliant maneuver, she goes, I introduced a motion to subpoena the Epstein files. We got the votes. Today we got the subpoena. The DOJ has 2 weeks to release the Epstein files to the Oversight Committee. Justice must apply to everyone, no matter how rich, powerful, or well-connected you are. The NBC reported the GOP-led House committee subpoenaed the Clintons and several top former DOJ officials for testimony in Epstein. The committee also issued the subpoena for the DOJ. That's how James Comer tried to, act like he wasn't outmaneuvered by the Democrats. All right, we're subpoenaing Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Merrick Garland, James Comey, Bill Barr, Alberto Gonzalez, Robert Mueller, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch. Okay, subpoena those people. I'm not sure what they know. We're going to take their depositions. So let me just be clear what Comer's trying to set up. So we know what Comer already did with Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition, right? Democrats outmaneuvered the Republicans, got Ghislaine's deposition set for August 11th via subpoena, but then James Comer negotiated a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, to postpone the deposition until after the Supreme Court hears her petition for certiorari to get a new trial. So they've indefinitely pushed that back, but Comer pretends, oh, look, we still want to have her deposition taken. We're negotiating in good faith. So that's how they're trying to get around that one. What Comer's trying to do here, I'm just letting you know their tactics. I used to be a litigator. I worked on stuff like this. I know what they're doing here. What Comer's going to try to say is, well, we want to have all these other depositions go first before the Department of Justice is required to turn it over. And if Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and all these other people are objecting to their subpoenas, it makes it look like the DOJ's objection is less bad. So they're going to go, well, look, Clinton's objecting, Hillary's objecting. Look at all these people objecting. They're trying
as far
to
as that goes.
So we need to get their information before the DOJ releases that. But we know this. We run the media now, the Midas Touch Network. We get more views than corporate news. So when they do that, we all know the hustle right here. We're all fine if we just release the Epstein files. If Bill Clinton's in the files and did horrible things, good, hold him accountable. If Hillary Clinton's in the files and did horrible things, good, hold her accountable. I don't care. Part. I just want the freaking files right there. I don't want Ghislaine Maxwell getting pardoned or commuted. I don't care what Ghislaine Maxwell has to say. She's a convicted sex trafficker and a known liar who's engaged in the most heinous conduct. Just release the files. We need to all stay laser focused on that, folks. And you remember yesterday what Donald Trump said. This guy's on the ropes. He's feeling the pressure. He was at this weirdo Olympics event yesterday, and he was supposed to talk about the 2028 Olympics, but instead he was talking about how his former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, was speaking with Ghislaine Maxwell to protect the identities of people who may be hurt by something. He's not talking about the victims. He's talking about the perpetrators. He's talking about
facts.
He's talking about people like himself. Here, play this clip.
Right.
I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you.
He's not respected by everybody. Why are you lying? We respect the victims, sir. I need for you to be absolutely clear. Stop lying. He's not respected by everybody. He's only respected by you right now because he is doing your work, the work for you. The minute he stopped doing the work for you, he would no longer be highly respected. That's the same thing that you said about Diddy when that girl was on The Apprentice and was speaking bad about Diddy. You say, oh, well, I think he's a very good guy. I think he's highly respected. I think Diddy. Duh. Yeah, you was all up in the crack of done. All up in the crack of Diddy's done. Yeah. Now you act like you don't know him. Yeah, I really didn't know him. Yeah, you did. You been knowing him. Y'all been booty buddies for a long time. So shut up lying. He's not respected by everybody. We care and respect about the victims, period. You are a liar. You are a presidential pimp. Okay? Okay? Let's be clear.
That whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that.
Quit
And I
lying.
think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know this. I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her, or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly.
Sir, stop lying. You have talked to him. Why are you speaking on something that you don't know nothing about? You don't know what was said. Ain't he the reason why you got them 33, 34 felonies? Wasn't he your attorney? Didn't he represent you? Didn't he lose them cases? Man, you better shut up.
Is something that would be totally above board.
And then Donald Trump utterly lied yesterday where he was asked, did you approve the transfer of Ghislaine Maxwell to the minimum security facility? And Donald Trump lies and goes, no, that just happens all the time. I don't know anything about it. It doesn't happen all the time that a convicted sex trafficker is moved to a minimum security facility with no guards, where you have to get a waiver because sex traffickers are not permitted there. And then you send your number 2 lawyer, your former criminal defense attorney, who you make the number 2 at the Department of Justice, to make him defend you versus we, the people of the United States, Todd Blanche, to cut this deal. No,
he don't care nothing about the
in the history of the United States before. But here, play this clip.
2 questions for you. One, were you aware of and did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell that your Justice Department?
I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did.
And do you believe that she is?
It's not a very uncommon thing.
Do you believe that she's credible to be listening to? Your Deputy Attorney General sat down with her recently.
Well, let me tell you, he's a very talented man. His name is Todd Blanche. He's a very legitimate person, very high. I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people.
Now, let me show you, because we the people demand justice. So at this town hall, you have Mike Flood, MAGA Republican from Lincoln, Nebraska. This is the one where he got booed ruthlessly by the people in his like plus 20 Trump district. And they were like, when are you releasing the Epstein Trump files? When are you releasing the Trump Epstein files? And he's like, we're committed to transparency. We're going to take Elaine's deposition. We're getting this. I'm going to show you the clip, but I want to let you know their tactic. Yes, the subpoena's issued. Yes, Democrats outmaneuvered them. Yes,
darkness.
Democrats got Ghislaine's deposition. Yes, there's now a subpoena to the Department of Justice. But you saw how James Comer, that's how he talks, MAGA Republican Congress member, House of the Oversight Committee, how he's derailed Ghislaine's deposition by negotiating a deal that they'll revisit the date of the deposition. They're saying, oh, it's just a negotiation. We're just cooperating. We'll just push it until after the Supreme Court makes their ruling. But then Ghislaine's going to say, well, I want a habeas petition, and then I want to kick it. So she's going to try to kick her deposition with Congress until 2026 or indefinitely. That's her tactic right there. Now, the DOJ tactic, again, I want to be clear so you know the tactic, is James Comer subpoenas Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all these people. He says we need their information first before the DOJ produces their documents, and then that gets delayed for months and months and years, and they hope that the American people forget about what's taking place. Anyway, here's MAGA Republican Congressman Flood, so you can see for yourself how he's describing it. Play this clip.
Next question. Why are you covering up the Epstein files?
Let's go.
Let's be very clear. At the next pro forma session of the Congress, you'll find my name as a sponsor on a resolution from the House Rules Committee.
Why? We don't want to hear that.
Release the Epstein files to protect the victims and not re-victimize them again. I support Jamie Comer, who is the House's Oversight Committee Chairman, subpoenaing Ms. Maxwell later this month to come testify in Washington. I am for the release of those records.
And then just so you know their bad faith, why wouldn't the MAGA Republicans subpoena Alex Acosta, Trump's labor secretary from his first administration, who was the guy who did the deal with Epstein in 2007, who did the non-prosecution agreement? That's the, if you really wanted anybody's depot, you'd want Trump's, you'd want Epstein, well, he's dead, you'd want GHISLAINE, she'll probably invoke the fifth if you want her at all, you want the files, you want Alex Acosta, you want the victims. I'd put victims first and files first, and then you can get all the other people and go from there. But that's what's taking place. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe, and let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Did he answer the question?
Merch drop.
Common thing.
Do you believe that she's credible to be listening to? Your Deputy Attorney General sat down with her recently.
Well, let me tell you.
Did he answer the question?
Man. His name is Todd Blanche. He's a very legitimate person, very high, I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, people that should not be involved or are
did he ever answer the question?
By something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people.
Now, let me show you, because we the people demand justice. So at this town hall, you have Mike Flood, MAGA Republican from Lincoln, Nebraska. This is the one where he got booed ruthlessly by the people in his plus 20 Trump district. And they were like, when are you releasing the Epstein Trump files? When are you releasing the Trump Epstein files? And he's like, we're committed to transparency. We're going to take Elaine's deposition. We're getting this. I'm going to show you the clip, but I want to let you know their tactic. Yes, the subpoena's issued. Yes, Democrats outmaneuver them. Yes, Democrats got Ghislaine's deposition. Yes, there's now a subpoena to the Department of Justice. But you saw how James Comer, that's how he talks, MAGA Republican Congress member, House of the Oversight Committee, how he's derailed Ghislaine's deposition by negotiating a deal that they'll revisit the date of the deposition. They're saying, oh, it's just a negotiation. We're just cooperating. We'll just push it until after the Supreme Court makes their ruling. But then Ghislaine's going to say, well, I want a habeas petition, and then I want to kick it. So she's going to try to kick her deposition with Congress until 2026 or indefinitely. That's her tactic right there. Now, the DOJ tactic, again, I want to be clear so you know the tactic, is James Comer subpoenas Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all these people. He says we need their information first before the DOJ produces their documents, and then that gets delayed for months and months and years, and they hope that the American people forget about what's taking place. Anyway, here's MAGA Republican Congressmember Flood so you can see for yourself how he's describing it. Play this clip.
Next question. Why are you covering up the Epstein files?
Let's be very clear. At the next pro forma session of the Congress, you'll find my name as a sponsor on a resolution from the House Rules Committee to release the Epstein files to protect the victims and not re-victimize them again. I support Jamie Comer, who is the House's Oversight Committee Chairman, subpoenaing Ms. Maxwell later this month to come testify in Washington. I am for the release of those records.
And then just so you know their bad faith, why wouldn't the MAGA Republicans subpoena Alex Acosta, Trump's labor secretary from his first administration, who was the guy who did the deal with Epstein in 2007, who did the non-prosecution agreement? That's the, if you really wanted anybody's depot, you'd want Trump's, you'd want Epstein.
Let's be clear.
He's dead. You'd want Ghislaine.
to say he don't want to re-victimize the victims. When Trump said that he was going to open the files, release the files, Pam Bondi said that it was on her desk. At that point, you were already planning to re-victimize the victims. You didn't care anything about the victims. Now, because he was told he was all over
She'll
it.
probably invoke the fifth if you want her at all. You want the files. You want Alex Acosta. You want the...
Now that you know how deeply he had... Yeah, because, see, they said Epstein was scared of
victims first
Trump.
and files first.
So, how much... I don't know if he knew how much Epstein had logged him. I don't know what he knew. But he didn't know enough. So you didn't care nothing about re-victimizing the victims. You were okay with that. Now y'all don't want to re-victimize the victims. They've already been re-victimized. Their names are all over the place. Old files. And then you got old girl. The reason why you moved her because she started letting them people leak old information, old pictures that we had not seen, we know nothing about. Nothing. Yeah, until you cranked it up and said what you said, you put your foot in your mouth again. And you caused this chaos. So don't try to put like y'all we don't want to re-victimize the victims. Y'all already did that. When old girl said she had them on her desk and she was going to release them, she was re-victimizing the victims at that point as well. So let's be clear. Let's be clear. Hold on. Y'all not getting my likes up. Double hit those 3 buttons at the top.
Why not at least send a direct?
Those 3 buttons at the top and hit the thumbs up. High drama in U.S. Senate over the Epstein file. Yeah, the Senate, they losing it. They fighting. Yep. They're trying to do all type of bogus stuff.
They have well described, I think, all the inappropriate actions that have been taken by the Justice Department, including...
Just so we clear, if I don't get these likes up here shortly, and I'm going to just end it like I did the other day. Double tap your screen. If you're on your phone, just go get the likes up, and then you got those 3 buttons, 3 little dots at the top. Hit that and hit the thumbs up. And it's going to be my last time saying it. And if they don't come up, I'm just going to end it. Cool? We cool? We agree? Let's go.
The Deputy Attorney General, who had been Donald Trump's personal lawyer, conducting the secret interview.
Conducting the secret.
The Epstein associate, Maxwell. And this is an important conversation to continue here on the Senate floor. We were here earlier this morning where we discussed the very, very troubling and disturbing case of Jeffrey Epstein and the horrifying abuse of young women and girls. Those who were so terribly abused and deserve to have the full truth.
Now you said something there, Justice T. You said a word.
Loved ones, as do the American people, so the American people can have some kind of confidence that the Department of Justice is presenting the American people with the truth, because we need transparency in order to ensure full accountability. It used to be the case that Donald Trump and his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and others in this administration said they wanted to get to the bottom of this. In fact, they said they wanted to release the Epstein files. But as we got closer to actually doing that, they suddenly decided that they did not want the public to know and that they didn't want Epstein's victims to know. And so now they've decided not to be forthcoming. The obvious question is,
Why?
what are they hiding? And that is why we took to the floor earlier today to say, release the damn Epstein files.
Release them.
We've learned just in the last 48 hours that at some point along the way, the FBI redacted Trump's name from the Epstein files. We had learned that his name was very likely in those files, and we also know that the Trump administration asked the FBI to do a search of his name in the files. We now know that his name was redacted from those files at some point along the way by the FBI. As my colleagues from Rhode Island and California were just discussing, we've also witnessed in just the last week or two the highly inappropriate action of the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, to conduct a secret interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's partner in these crimes. And when he was asked at his confirmation hearing before the Senate about whether he had a continuing duty of loyalty and confidentiality to Donald Trump, his
Not the
response
people.
was yes.
Not the people.
As the former personal attorney of Donald Trump, he had an ongoing duty of loyalty and confidentiality. Clearly, that duty of loyalty and confidentiality to Donald Trump puts him in direct conflict with the interests of the truth and the people of the United States when it comes to President Trump. So it was highly inappropriate that he held that interview. As a senator from California just pointed out, he excluded from that interview lawyers that had been working on this case for a long time. It is also a fact by at least many reports that he, Todd Blanche, has a very close personal relationship with the lawyer for Ms. Maxwell.
The lawyer.
This thing stinks to high heaven, and one thing they should do is immediately release the transcripts of this secret interview.
It's just that simple.
Conducted. Release the transcripts. According to all reports, they gave Ghislaine Maxwell immunity, proper immunity, for the purpose of her testimony. Nothing she said in that interview could be used against her. So release the interview transcript.
Right.
To the American people. Because Donald Trump's personal attorney should not be the one in the room conducting an interview with somebody who might have testimony that directly incriminates Donald Trump. We've also seen just in recent days the question floated about whether the President of the United States would pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. When President Trump was asked about that possibility, he acknowledged he had that.
That's right.
He said on this floor this morning, President Trump should immediately today announce that he will not use his pardon power to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for being a co-conspirator in the abuse of young women and girls. What is clearly happening in plain view is very dangerous to our system of justice. What is clearly happening is the possibility that Ghislaine Maxwell and her lawyers are seeking a pardon